Within the next few minutes or two, you're going to have to make that decision. Either you're going to be straight with me and you're going to give me some reasons and you're going to get this off your chest and you're going to start working in that direction. Not only were they following you in the car, but there was more than two. There were several more. They followed you to the store. They saw what you bought. And when you went back to your apartment and you parked the car down at the end, they sat there and they waited. They waited and they watched. And they watched. And they watched. And they saw you come out, and they saw you go down and get the dumpster. They saw you come back. They saw you go down and put the cart in the other dumpster. There wasn't a woman. Just get it off your chest.
This is 22-year-old Cassandritz Blanc being questioned by the detective after his 22-year-old wife Martine Bernard went missing on June 4th, 2018. What was even more astonishing was that the missing wife was also 6 months pregnant. Cassandritz's calm and collected demeanor appears to be his shield. Unbeknownst to him, this has only made him even easier to catch, never suspecting that his darkest secret is no longer his own.
I'm not playing games. I really don't know what you're saying.
We could sit and play, and you're entitled to continue to play this out. You hear me out. Hear me out. But you're entitled to that. You're entitled to play this out. But it's time for you to be straight, and it's time for you to come forward and say what happened. And you could do the same thing that some people do. You could say, look, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't. That's not going to give you peace in here. It's not going to give you the peace. You made a terrible mistake.
This is just the beginning of this twisted case. What the suspect is about to reveal will become one of the most horrifying confessions the detectives have ever heard. On June 9th, 2018, the Bernard family was preparing to attend a baby shower, a day filled with joy and happiness. As they were ready to leave, they couldn't find Martine's father, 68-year-old Roosevelt Bernard, at home. As time passed, the family grew concerned when Roosevelt didn't return home and decided to report his disappearance. Hollywood police arrived at the location and immediately began their investigation looking for the missing person. But soon into their search, what they discovered was a gruesome sight that was beyond their comprehension. Roosevelt was found dead and burned in a field close to his Hollywood residence. Though the body was nearly reduced to ashes, it wasn't the fire that killed him. After examining his body, the autopsy revealed that Roosevelt had died due to a gunshot wound. The police attempted to contact his daughter Martine, but couldn't get any response, as if she also had disappeared without a trace. Nobody knew who did this to Roosevelt and what had happened to Martine. The event shook the family to the core, but the worst nightmare of their lives was yet to come. With no response from Martine, the police approached her husband, Cassandritz Blanc. Cassandritz claimed to be with his in-laws when Roosevelt disappeared. He also informed the police that he couldn't find his wife, Martine, at home. The police felt something odd as they suspected both cases were somehow related, and with burning questions in their minds, Cassandritz was swiftly taken into custody for interrogation.
I was informed that detectives wanted to speak with me to, get an understanding of what's going on, and I was extremely compliant. I wanted to help.
Now, when was that?
Yesterday.
Okay.
And I felt as though, the conversation started well. We were talking, you asked me questions, I answered. Conversation was going well. And then at that point, at a certain point, I felt as though I was being accused, because the way they were explaining, the way they were speaking to me, it was as if the perspective I got was as if you're accusing me of being responsible for that. And I was extremely upset about that, and I didn't appreciate it. So, I started driving, just to clear my mind. No speeding, obviously.
Right.
Just driving, calm my mind.
And this was yesterday?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yesterday being Monday.
Yes.
Cassandritz subtly indicated that police had, for some reason, begun to suspect him of being connected to the cases. Yet, as the layers of truth are slowly unraveled, discoveries would be made that seem almost impossible to believe.
When's the last time your wife is missing currently? or hasn't been seen for a day or two?
My wife is missing. Well, here's what's going on.
Okay.
So
are you two having marriage problems, or?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. We have a great marriage. So basically, I woke up and I saw a woman at my door.
When was this?
Tonight, actually.
Okay.
There was a woman at my door, and I was startled. Who are you? And she explained to me that I'm Martine's friend. She explained to me that you paid for the cell phone. You bought her the cell phone. Do you want her belongings, or should I just throw it out, or burn it? She gave me those options, and I said, well, I want it. I mean,
now it's like 7 o'clock Tuesday morning. About when was this?
5 a.m. 4
Okay.
or 5 a.m.
Early this morning.
Yes, sir.
A couple hours ago. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And
I've never met her before. Never seen her in a day of my life.
okay.
I was really scared because, like I told the previous detective, that this is why I didn't want to give my address. For one, because I didn't want people knowing where I live, trying to kill me, kidnap me, torture me, beat me up, whatever. I didn't want to be a victim of anything. So
I've got to ask you one thing. Have you ever been treated for mental illness?
mental illness?
Right.
Do you say I have mental illness?
No, I'm asking you if you've ever been treated for it.
I don't have mental illness.
I didn't think so, but again, I don't know you, so I just have to ask. So the woman shows up. You don't know this woman. Describe her for me.
And I asked her, how did you come in? She said, I used her keys. I put it down in the kitchen.
Now, she knocked on the door, or you opened the door?
She walked herself in.
Okay.
She walked herself in, and she just explained to me, here, read the text message.
Hold on. The keys. She let herself in with whose keys?
Martine's keys. And she had some kind of rag in her hand, and she just threw her belongings towards me.
Where are Martine's keys?
In the kitchen. She says.
In the kitchen in your apartment?
She says yes, that's
Okay.
where she put it. Yes.
What do her keys look like?
It's got a big M. And
Okay.
yeah.
What did she do with her belongings?
She just threw it at me.
What were her belongings?
Her cell phone, her clothes, and she said she left the bag in the kitchen along with her keys.
Cassandritz introduces a mysterious woman he supposedly doesn't know, yet insists his wife does. The details he unveils are too strange to easily accept. Is Cassandritz constructing a hypothetical narrative, or did he genuinely experience this unusual encounter? With each new detail, the plot thickens with unexpected twists.
Where's the cell phone now?
In the room.
And
Where I was sleeping in the bedroom.
She showed you a text message. On whose phone was the text message?
She told me, why don't you check the text message that she sent you? And I opened the text and I read it. And it's basically Martine just saying she's had enough. I've just read quickly, and she telling me she loves me. She doesn't want me to go through anything like that, and I was just stunned, and I said, where is she? And she said she's with my brother, and they're doing it right now.
So this woman says that your wife is having sex. Was that what she was implying?
Not having sex, no.
Like, what's doing it?
So basically, the text message I read was Martine basically saying that, basically, long story short, I don't remember exactly what was said in the text.
Whose phone is it on?
My phone.
Where's your phone?
I wasn't able to bring anything with me.
I mean, did they use your phone at your house, or did you have it in your pocket?
Like, basically, the officers, they stripped me of everything.
But did you have your phone on you? Did the officers take your phone, or was it in the apartment?
It was in the apartment.
What kind of phone do you have?
An iPhone.
An iPhone.
She was explaining, her issues with her dad. She couldn't take it anymore. Basically, it was basically a lot of like animosity towards him through the text message, and she basically was like, I did it, And
Did what?
Like, she was responsible for her dad's death.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, she said she was helped, an individual named Juan.
Juan.
Yeah, Juan. And she said she took something about taking care of him too.
She killed Juan too?
She said, yeah.
Had you known your wife to be violent before?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all, but a lot of weird things have been happening lately.
Wasn't your wife pregnant?
Yeah. She's pregnant.
Whose child was that?
My
your
child.
Okay.
Yeah, 6 months. She's still capable of, still walking, moving,
right.
Doing chores. The only thing she can't do is bend.
Let me just, to make sure that I understand this right. Basically, this woman shows you a text. No, the woman tells you, check your text messages.
Check my phone.
Check your phone. You open up your phone and you have a text message. Is it showing that it's coming from your wife? Yes. So it's not somebody else pretending to be your wife. It's coming from your wife's phone.
Yes.
And it says, does she say anything about killing her father?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cassandra's shocking claim that Martine was the one to kill her father left the detective stunned. What could have led her to such a drastic decision? What he describes next hints at something more sinister that no one imagined.
So basically, after the father was missing, Martine's whole demeanor has changed. She basically doesn't want to be out. I told her Investigations wants to come see you. I texted her that because her phone isn't. There's something wrong with her phone as far as calling. And I texted her. I said Investigations need to see you because you not showing up, it makes you look really bad.
And this was yesterday sometime? Okay. Let me ask you this. When was the last time that you had seen her father? When was the last time that you saw your wife?
Same day, Saturday.
You didn't see her Sunday? You didn't see her Monday?
I saw her on Sunday.
Okay.
I saw her Sunday. I saw her,
Today's Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
Did you see her yesterday, Monday at all?
Did I see her yesterday? Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I saw her yesterday.
Where did you see her yesterday?
At home. She's always home.
Okay. Does she work?
She worked at Aetna and she quit.
So you saw her sometime yesterday, morning, afternoon?
Yesterday I saw her all day up until Investigations told me to come by.
What time was that about?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't remember. It was maybe
before lunch, after lunch.
I'm sorry. I'm really not thinking straight right now.
Yeah, got it.
Let me take some time to think. Because they called me. They called me and I called them back and I told them I would come right then and there.
When they called you, where were you?
At home.
And was your wife there with you when they called you?
Yes.
Okay, so
they said they asked me, is your wife able to come? And I forgot I had handcuffs. When they said, are you able to bring your wife? And I said, of course, I'll bring her with me.
Okay.
And Martine, after I hung up, I approached Martine about it, and Martine said, no, I'm not going because I wasn't there. I'm not involved in that. I was, I don't know where I have to go. Just.
So was this yesterday morning, like around breakfast time, around lunchtime, when you went down to Hollywood?
I have to check my call log, honestly.
Okay.
I'm not going to answer that because I really don't remember.
Okay. Was it daytime?
I think it was evening.
Okay.
I think it was evening.
Well, that's not that long ago.
Yeah.
You mean towards like the end of the afternoon type thing?
I think 7, maybe 7, 8.
Oh, okay. So that was later in the evening. Did you see her, your wife, again after that?
No.
What time did you come back to your apartment?
So I called I texted Martine. I said you need to come, and I came back home and I didn't see her. She said something about her being. I think she said she's with her sister.
What kind of car does your wife have?
She doesn't drive. She said that she was picked up by her sister, so that they can go to the movies together because she lives in Winter Haven.
Now, you talked to her on the phone or
Text message.
Okay, so you're texting back and forth.
Yeah.
All right. So you get back to your apartment. She's not there. When you last saw her, or when you left, and I just want to make sure I got this right. When you went down to talk to the detectives, and these are the Hollywood detectives, right?
Yes.
When you went down to talk to them, your wife was in the apartment.
Yes. When I left, she was there.
Okay.
In pursuit of the full truth, the detective tried to extract every detail to piece together the puzzle. However, Cassandritz's lack of concern about his wife's disappearance is baffling. His strange behavior casts a shadow of suspicion over him, turning a spotlight on his role in the mystery.
So you leave, she's in bed.
Yes, sir.
You go down and you talk to Hollandale or Hollywood?
Hollywood.
You do go down and talk to Hollywood people, Hollywood investigators. You finish up there about what time? Is it dark out when you finish up there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, where do you go then?
Where did I go?
Mm-hmm.
I just took a drive around the city. I didn't go straight home, to be very honest with you.
Any idea what time you got home? Did you go anyplace else between driving and coming home? Did you go out for dinner? You go out for drinks? You go out for...
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You come home about what time?
I believe it was... I have to...
Approximate, it doesn't...
I have to check my phone because I wasn't really paying attention to the time because the way it ended, I didn't really appreciate that. So
the way what ended?
The conversation with the detectives.
Oh, with the Hollywood.
Yeah, because I came, I showed up, I gave you my side of the story. Mm-hmm. And they started to tell me how, we didn't see a Hispanic man in front of the door or a van, not a Hispanic man. How are you going to tell me if that's exactly what I saw in the background, a van? I'm not crazy at all. I mean, you can have a physician test me. I mean, I'm not mental at all. I know what I saw. I was just very sensitive.
Well, that's an issue that you have with them, but so I'm just trying to sort out the last night.
That's the reason why I was driving around the city. Plus, I felt as though because after they asked me for my address,
mm-hmm.
And I declined that because I do have that right to decline it. They thought it was suspicious of me to just decline.
Right.
Giving my address. I can understand why, and I gave them my reasoning as far as why not, because I don't want anything to happen to me. Well, now obviously you guys already know where I live. It's now going to be on a report. That's what I didn't want to, that's what I wanted to prevent. So that's why I declined. So I felt as though I was being followed.
That's separate. Separate. I mean, you felt you're being followed by what?
Hollywood police.
Last night?
Yeah. Absolutely. So it started off with me just calmly driving,
mm-hmm.
Just driving to relax my mind, and then I noticed 2 cars that were following me everywhere, like just following me. When I looked at the tag, it was a regular Florida tag.
Mm-hmm.
If it was not Hollywood police, then I feel like it was those people that were at my apartment.
Well, let's go back to that. So you get home You get home sometime after dark. Do you talk to anybody after you get home? You make any?
No.
Okay, you just chill out there. You have what'd you say? You had a shot or something?
Yeah.
The next thing you know, does anything happen between when you crash and when you're woken up by the woman?
I was waiting for my wife to come home. I thought she was with her sister at the movies.
Mm-hmm.
And
now, did she send you a text message saying she was at the movies?
Yeah.
Okay.
She got picked up by her sister to go to the movies, and it wasn't true.
But she told you that.
Yes, sir.
And it came from her.
Yes, sir.
Cassandritz's statement left the detective unconvinced, as he seemed confused by his own narrative. This only made it evident to the detective that he was clearly hiding something crucial.
How did she know your wife?
They're friends, she said.
Okay. And what?
She said I'm her friend.
And what did her brother have to do with it?
Her brother wasn't in the apartment. She said her brother is taking care of the situation.
Okay.
About the text message.
Taking care of? What did you take that to mean?
So basically, my wife, after she said that she was, responsible for her dad's passing, she said she didn't want to, something about not wanting to be in prison with a baby, giving birth, losing a child.
She said all this in a text message?
And yeah, she sent a really long paragraph. It was like, I had to scroll through.
Is that still on your phone?
Yes, sir.
Now, how do you get into your phone?
How do I get into
Yeah,
my
do you have a
phone?
passcode on the phone?
Yes, sir.
Are you going to give me that code? We need to get the message.
Yes, I can give it to you.
What's your code?
But I don't know her passcode. Her passcode, it's...
As long as we can get it off your phone.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what's important.
So basically, my wife, she texted me a huge paragraph,
right?
Straight from her number, because she does tell me how she gets random text messages, not text messages, like a random text off of a random number, but this one was straight from her.
Well,
and only she knows the passcode
on
to her
phone.
phone.
Okay.
So it had to be her.
So you don't know her passcode?
Not at all.
So in this message, and we'll try to pull that up down the road here. She tells you that, if I understand you right, basically she admits to killing her father.
She talks a lot.
How did her father die?
Her dad?
Yeah.
She shot her. Him.
Okay.
Him. She
Okay.
shot him.
So she says that she shot her father, and
the man that helped him, Juan. She
shot Juan too.
Something about She sent me a text message, like towards me.
Mm-hmm.
It started off with "I love you, Cassandritz," and then she sent me a paragraph's worth. And then she also sent me what she sent her sister. She said, and I'm reading this, and I know it's towards her sister because you see her sister's name comes up a lot, Joanne,
right.
Joanne. So I was reading it, and a lot of what I was reading was like really bad hatred towards her dad.
Why is she telling you all this, and then this other woman's bringing her stuff? So, if I understand this right, and correct me if I'm wrong, she's saying that, and it's all written down somewhere, so she's saying that she shot her father, and then she shot the other guy too?
Yes.
So that's two of them.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know, and you think it was the other guy's gun that she used?
Perhaps.
Have you ever seen her with a gun before?
No.
Do you have a gun?
No.
Okay.
And speaking of, so basically another thing she gave me, like threw at me, was the gun.
Mm-hmm.
It came in a box with a bag, and I looked. She before I opened it, she said, "You're probably really gonna need this." And I said, "Need what?" And then I opened it. I saw the gun.
Holy shit! Tell me what the gun looked like.
It's literally the gun. It's got like a cylinder type thing, and I'm looking at it like, holy shit! Like, I've never touched a gun before. I've never had a gun. I've never purchased one. Never had one. So I'm looking at it. I'm like, holy shit! And then it's got the box of ammunition.
Cassandritz put all his effort into appearing credible before the detective, hoping to convince him of his story's truth. Little does he know, his intense effort to seem honest only deepens the detective's suspicions even further.
I'm looking at it and
it's got all of it, the gun and the ammunition.
She said, "You're probably gonna need this.
Okay.
You're probably gonna really need this."
Why would you need it?
Because, I don't know, she feels as though maybe people are gonna come looking.
And she handed this to you?
Yeah, she just said, "You're probably gonna need this."
Where's that now?
It's in the apartment, in my bedroom.
Cassandra's assertion that Martine wanted to kill her father and herself without showing any concern for her and their unborn child is perplexing. He calmly placed the blame on Martine, yet never urged the detective to find his missing wife. The more he explains, the harder it is for the detective to believe him.
Where do you think your wife is now?
Where do I think she is?
Right.
I don't know. That's why I was walking around this morning. I was honestly just looking for her. And I said, you know what? I'll just when I'm done putting everything up, as far as the ladder, like throwing it away.
What were you throwing away the ladder?
The truck. It's full of blood. Yeah, she told me where it's located,
and where was that next? Was it upstairs or downstairs where she told you it was? You said it was under the leaves?
Downstairs, yes, sir.
So you go down those back stairs, where was it from there?
In the leaves.
But where are the leaves?
Remember I told you where the car is parked?
Mm-hmm. Where your car is parked?
Well, behind it.
Which car is yours?
White Challenger.
Okay, behind it in that alleyway?
Yes, sir.
It was just sitting there, laying there?
Yeah, it was covered. She said it's covered over there underneath those leaves.
Now, why is she bringing this stuff back to you?
Well, she advised me that basically she wanted me to see if I wanted to just get her belongings to be just thrown out, like if she and her brother were going to take care of it, or if I wanted to take care of it, and I chose I wanted to keep the phone.
I thought your wife had already killed her brother. Your wife told you that she had killed her father, and the guy that helped her, she had killed him too. That wasn't this woman's brother?
No.
Okay, a different person.
Basically, Juan is supposedly the guy's name that helped her kill her dad, supposedly.
And how do you know Juan?
I don't know Juan at all. I don't even know him. And then the brothers, she didn't, as far as I know, she didn't kill because she wanted to kill herself based on the message. She didn't want to, like I said.
Well, did this woman say that your wife was already dead? This one that
she said my brother is taking care of it. And
so her brother was going to kill your brother. Your wife killed her father and Juan.
So it sounds like my wife killed herself, or she's the type of person that how can I say it? She doubts herself a lot. She's easily scared. So a lot of times But
she would have killed herself in a 5 or 6 hour period, because she was alive at 7 o'clock when you went to 6 o'clock when you went to Hollywood. She was alive when you got the text message at 9 o'clock after the interview.
I told her, you need to go see investigations right now because they're wanting to speak to you tonight. It's very serious. It's your dad. Your dad.
And you think that's why she killed herself?
I think so. She admitted it in the message. She didn't want to go through the consequences.
After listening to Cassandritz's version of the story, the detective is set to take charge. At this moment, the suspect realizes that the detective already knows his horrifying secret. What the detective is about to reveal will undoubtedly twist the case in an unexpected direction.
I appreciate you listening to I've talked to you. I've asked you some questions. Some of them you've answered honestly. Some of them I don't think you have. But at least
Which one do you think?
well, I'm getting ready to tell you. At least you're speaking to me. Obviously, you've got to know you're in some pretty serious trouble now. But within the next few minutes or two, you're going to have to make that decision. Either you're going to be straight with me and you're going to give me some reasons, and you're going to get this off your chest, and you're going to start working in that direction. Not only were they following you in the car, but there was more than two. There were several more. They followed you to the store. They saw what you bought. And when you went back to your apartment and you parked the car down at the end, they sat there and they waited. They waited and they watched. And they watched. And they watched. And they saw you come out. And they saw you go down and get the dumpster. They saw you come back. They saw you go down and put the cart in the other dumpster. There wasn't a woman. Just get it off your chest. Tell me what happened. I mean, just let it go. Just let it go. What happened? Cassandritz, what happened? How come? Where did it happen?
My life is done.
Where did it happen? Here. Is this water? Just let it go. Let it out while you're doing it. Just let it go.
Why are you doing this?
Because we've got to get it out. We came this far. We got to get it out.
As Cassandra's carefully crafted facade shatters before his very eyes, he has no choice but to confess the truth. The most horrifying revelations that were about to be disclosed would leave the detective stunned and speechless.
What started it? Argument?
It hurt me a lot, because her sister's best friend, he would always say things to her, to tell her, to convince her why we shouldn't be. I felt like he always tried to mess up what we had together.
Was he hitting on her?
It came off as not as him hitting on her, but it came off as him, just wanting to have her, to not have her, I'm sorry, to be with her. He would always tell her how I'm not good for her, it's a mistake, just giving her reasons why we shouldn't be together. And then,
What was his name?
JB.
Jamie?
JB.
JB.
Yeah. So, I felt like that's all he wanted to do, was to just mess up our marriage. Anytime we had an argument, she would go to him and open up to him. And I told her that's really disrespectful because, it's not for you to do that. It's not respectful. It's like as if you're going to someone else for closure, and I don't do that to you. I don't go to another woman for closure.
You wanted to keep your business in your house.
I keep to myself. I keep to myself. And I just wanted the same. I treated her just like I wanted to be treated. Gave her attention. I I gave her respect, so much respect. I showed her love. I showed her what it means for someone to really love you. You know, I did everything that I would want to be. I would want to have done to me, and she wasn't doing that. She was hurting. She was hurting me a lot, and I don't. This is the first time I'm actually like expressing myself because I hold it in. It's been going on for months and months and months and months. I'm happy with her. I'm extremely happy with her. But it's hurtful when she keeps going to him, you know, for that closure, and I don't do that. It's hurtful when he tries to separate us.
How long have they had this friendship going on?
For an entire year. So one day I finally decided to just get it off my chest instead of keeping it in. I said, Martine, you know you're hurting me, right? And she looked at me and she said, why? And then I told her why. And then I told her what I just said. And then I'm being very honest with you right
That's
now.
what I want.
It's everything I'm saying is the honest truth. I told her you're hurting me, and she asked why, and I explained it to her, and she rolled her eyes, and she just disregarded what I said, and I said, you don't care? And she looked at me in the eye and said, honestly, I don't feel the same way that you feel. I don't care, she said. And I asked her 3 times to make sure. So you don't care? No. You don't care? No. I feel bad that, it hurts you that, I talk about what we go through to him, and then he gives his 2 cents as to why we shouldn't be together. But she said she didn't care. She looked at me and she said she didn't care how I felt. And I said, okay. And I knew she was gone. And I was, I went to bed, in pain, just went to bed and early and woke up in the middle of the night to go use the bathroom. And I looked at her sleeping and I was like, you don't care? So I went into my car, got the gun, and I shot her while she was sleeping.
Where did you shoot her?
We were sleeping in the living room, and I shot her.
What part of the body?
The head.
How many times?
Just once.
You felt bad right away?
Of course. I felt really bad.
Whose gun was it?
I felt so bad. I didn't mean to do that. But I knew I did. And I knew if anyone found out, that's it. I'm done.
Whose gun was it?
I went online. I did whatever I could. I just had it there, because she was having a baby. And I just wanted to have it there, just in case. If anyone, just wanted to protect my family.
But where did you get it?
So, I got it online. I bought it from someone. I met him in person. I gave him $500 cash.
So that was last week, Monday night or Tuesday night?
Monday morning before she was supposed to go to work. It was Sunday when she told me that. And Monday morning, in the middle of the night, 3, maybe 4.
Did she say anything, or was it quick? Or
it was quick. It made a loud noise. It scared the shit out of me. I didn't expect it to be that loud. I didn't expect it to be that loud. I didn't expect her to be bleeding so much.
That was the first time that you shot that gun?
Yeah.
Okay.
The first time. I felt so bad when I saw her bleeding so much.
I know.
She was coughing up so much blood. And I couldn't take it back. I couldn't take it back. It was done. So I went to sleep in the other room. I couldn't look at her. I just went to sleep.
Did you cover her up? Did you cover her up or leave her there?
I left her there. I was so upset with myself.
Now what
I
was
felt
she
bad.
was laying on the floor?
She was laying on the bed.
Oh, that little bed in the living room? Okay.
And then when I woke up in the morning, I saw all the blood. I tried to clean it up little by little. Just clean it up and just, take paper towel, clean it.
What'd you do with the paper towels?
I threw them out.
Where?
Trash,
The dumpster downstairs or the...
This was last week. It's already gone.
What'd you do with her?
So, slowly, little by little, I cleaned the bed, threw the sheets out, threw the bed out.
How'd you get the bed out?
Well, I deflated it.
Oh, it was an air mattress.
Okay. I folded it. I threw that out, and then at that point she was on the floor.
Where'd you throw the mattress out?
I threw it in the trash.
The same dumpster there? The one by the stairway or the one farther down?
Yeah.
Which one?
The stairway.
That's probably been emptied since then too.
Say it again.
Has that one been emptied? The big metal one or the little plastic one? Like the trash bins or the big metal?
Like the one Waste Management picks up.
Okay. And that was the one over by the stairs where you were throwing that stuff? Over by your apartment?
Yes, sir. And then it came down to her body. I tried so hard to get her up. I couldn't. She was heavy. Before I took her out, when I finally was able to take her out, I actually even with the blood, I actually kissed her on her forehead. Before that, because she was so heavy, I tried. I tried to as best as I can to do it one by one. I was very desperate to just get her out, because of the consequences. I was very desperate, and
I understand
I tried to see if I can cut her head, cut her hand.
Did it work?
No, I couldn't finish it. I felt bad.
When you shot her, did you shoot her where on her head?
Here.
Forehead, to the side, to the temple?
Somewhere around there, yes.
Were you able to cut her into pieces at all?
No.
When did you bring the dumpster upstairs?
Before. It had to be before.
How did you get it back downstairs?
It was so difficult. It was falling. I tried really hard to make sure I had a good grip on it so the lid doesn't fall out. Because if the lid falls out, she could possibly fall, and it would have been really bad, and people would have seen. And
Cassandritz, in the beginning, tried to keep himself restrained, each word carefully measured, and his demeanor unwavering. But as the story unraveled, so did his composure. He confessed with a vulnerability that was almost childlike, and even now, with so much exposed, more disturbing layers were still waiting to be disclosed.
Anything else that you want to tell me, that you want to, as far as what happened that I haven't asked you, that you want to explain?
I was responsible for her father.
I knew that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to, and as long as we're doing this all at one time, was he shot too?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The Hollywood guys are waiting out here. The one guy is, and I'm going to ask him to come in and talk to you, and we'll just get all the shit out of the way at one time. You spoke with him. I don't know what the hell nuts, but Cassandritz is being pretty straight. He's coming forward. We talked about his wife. Are you going to be straight with the detective and get this all out of the way now?
What happened to Mr. Bernard Roosevelt, right? What happened with him?
I made a mistake, with my wife, and I was really desperate. I wanted to really not be, in this consequence. So, I sat there and I tried to think of how this can be presented. So I got the idea because I knew that if he came up missing, came up deceased,
right,
by another deceased person, it would cancel each other out, and no one's responsible.
Okay.
I was being very immature. That's what I was thinking. So that way,
is that why you actually went over to the house on Saturday?
Is that why I went over to the house?
Correct, because you orchestrated this plan, right? If one deceased person killed another deceased person, they cancel each other out. I'm correct, right?
Yes.
Okay. So did you shoot him?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Where did you shoot?
I believe it landed on his neck.
On his neck?
I believe so.
Like in the side here or straight in?
I believe it was straight in.
Okay,
that's how it looked.
Like that?
That's how it looked.
One time?
Only once. No, sorry, twice.
Twice?
I'm sorry, twice. Once on the neck and on the back. And the reason I did that was because on the neck, it went off. And then I saw him still moving, and I panicked, and I did it again.
Where did you do this in the house?
Martine's old room.
What did you do then? How did you conceal him from the rest of the family?
So basically, I closed the door and I locked it temporarily, took the keys, threw it away.
I took the keys for that particular bedroom and threw it away.
Yes.
Okay.
And when they left, I took his remains, I put it in the dumpster.
Where did you go with the barrel?
To the front. And I just, put the barrel on the grass, and I just left it in front of someone's home, and that was it,
Did you take him out of the trash can at that point?
Yes.
Where did you leave him?
By the grass.
Like high grass, like bushes, or like grass? Okay. Close to a fence or far from the fence?
I can't remember, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I tried to turn it into ashes.
Turn his remains into ashes.
No one could have imagined that Cassandrit's whole story from the beginning was nothing but a web of lies just to evade the consequences of his gruesome actions. Yet, his deception was futile, as there was no way out. The only fate that awaited him was a life behind bars. 5 years later, in September 2023, Cassandritz Blanc faced 3 life sentences for killing his wife, father-in-law, and his unborn child. He also faced 2 more charges for abusing a dead body. In a last-ditch effort, he pleaded guilty to avoid the death penalty. These were his words before the sentencing.
My words doesn't change anything, but I just yes, no, I really am sorry.
The apology didn't ease the family's sorrow, but they could finally find a sense of relief after enduring prolonged pain, finally getting closure after years of anguish and torment.
There's no words that can undo the things that he did to us. Our family can finally have a sense of peace, knowing that he won't be able to do what he did again to anyone else.
As we wrap up today's case, we are left with a chilling question. What drives a person like Cassandritz Blanc to make irreversible choices? Cassandritz claimed his wife disrespected him. Does that justify the ultimate tragic death of Martine? As this case digs deeper into Cassandritz's motives, we are left to wonder, what happens when a fleeting moment of anger leads to a lifetime of consequences? We invite you to share your thoughts on this twisted case. Let us know in the comments section below if there's a story you'd like us to cover. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for such fascinating videos.